Hi, I'm Kate. Welcome to my classroom. If you don't know me, I teach 3rd grade here in San Diego, California, and I have been teaching now for 14 years. And I think it's high time that I sit down with you guys and talk to you about something that's very, very important. So today we're going to be talking about substitutes. Yes, that's right. It doesn't matter if you're out for a day, an entire week, longer, maybe you're on maternity leave. You're going to need to think about who your sub is and how you want the day to go. So I think there are 3 main points that I want to bring up. Number 1, expectations. Number 2, reality. Number 3, mental preparation. So let's start with expectations. We expect a lot from our students, right? We want them to behave a certain way. We want them to accomplish certain things. But we've had an entire year to build that classroom culture. And the substitute is coming in oftentimes not having worked in your room. You should expect that they've never been in your classroom. Now, if you think about that, trying to explain every little thing in your classroom, it's not feasible. You can't sit there and explain oh, I do this for the, you're gonna have to kind of pick and choose. So one of the things that I always do is I tell my sub in the morning to get the students together to have a little community circle and build that relationship. So 10-15 minutes in the morning, do little relationship building and have the substitute explain what their expectations for success are for the students, and talking to them about what is expected of them from not only the substitute but from the teacher as well. So if you start off the day and the kids start off knowing that there's an expectation to be met, they're more likely to meet that expectation. So I always write into my sub plans at the very beginning, start your day off with the expectations that you have, because you are more likely to get the result that you want if you set those expectations from the start. So I always write that in my sub plans. I also think that we tend to write more than what is even possible for our own selves to get done, because we're afraid if something doesn't go well, we need a plan B so that there's enough for them to do all day long. I always mention I'm putting more in my sub plans than I expect you to complete. If something is difficult, leave that for me. I'll do it when I return, and you can go on to something that you feel a little more comfortable with. So not only am I setting the expectations up for my substitute, I'm also telling them to set up expectations for the students. And I bribe my students when I'm out, so if they get a good report from the sub, then they earn class privileges. And what's great is some kids will, you might say, oh well, this kid they're not going to tell the truth, then they're gonna not tell you everything. No, they love to tell on themselves. They love it. So for example, I'll be like, come on, what was it that you did nobody's gonna get in trouble, just tell me what you did. What did you do? And they'll totally wrap themselves out. It's so funny. Anyway, okay, so number 2 is reality. The reality is the sub is not you, and no matter how great your students are, they are not necessarily going to behave the same way for the substitute as they do for you. And I always tell my students I want them to behave better for the substitute than for myself, but the reality is the substitute has not necessarily earned that respect, especially if they're brand new in the classroom. So number 3 is mental preparation. When you have got to be prepared, because when you come back, things are not going to look as you left them. They're just not. I came in today, I'd been out for 5 days. I came in today and I spent the first about 15 minutes just trying to get my bearings, and my substitute was great, but again, the reality is she's not me. And so no matter how good somebody is, it's just not going to be done the way you do it. So I had to mentally prepare for a lot. I knew there was behavior that I was going to have to correct. I knew there was projects that I was going to have to try to organize and figure out what was going on. And I knew that things were just not going to be put away properly. So I knew that coming in ahead of time. So I kind of gave myself a game plan, okay? So I'm gonna need to do this, this, and this in order to kind of get things back on track. So I think if I can give you any part of wisdom, if I can give you any wisdom in this teaching world that we live in, you really need to have three points when we talk about substitutes: expectation, reality, and mental preparation. And lastly, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please think about subscribing. Don't think about it, just do it. I really am struggling with subscribers. For whatever reason, I don't seem to grow on YouTube, and I have a lot of amazing content still coming. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's super simple to do. You just click, hit the notification bell if you really like me. And, you know, share it up. Let's help other people with substitute teachers and kind of what we should know. That's it. Bye. All right, and how are you playing your game?
We're playing cards and we're doing 3 times 6 to be 3. There we go.
Okay, and so you're distributing out that?